Hey guys, Wilson from On the Mewve here, and today I want to give an update on a vehicle switch here. So you might have seen in a video sneak peek here or there, you might have seen this different truck, a white Ford F-250, which was a 2019 model and low mileage when we purchased it used, but it was a gasser. And so we used it for a while we had our travel trailer. And when we decided to upgrade, we knew we were going to go to a fifth wheel, so we decided to go ahead and upgrade trucks as well. And so we updated to a 2018 F350 diesel, so it's got the 6.7 liter power stroke, tons of power, and we don't have to worry about how or if we're going to be able to pull our fifth wheel anymore. I think we could pull pretty much a house with us with this truck. Great truck. We bought it used with about 60,000 miles on it. Again, it's a 2018 model, and it is a Lariat edition. Got quite a few extra bells and whistles. We didn't have to have all those things, but we found the right deal, made the drive. We live here in South Carolina. I found this truck all the way up in Indiana. So Kelly and I took the weekend. We drove up, picked it up, and brought it back home. So one of the things I had done on the last truck was I added an onboard compressor with an air tank and also airbags. So what I decided to do is go ahead and remove that from the white truck and just add it to this particular truck. So real easy install because I had everything wired up, everything done. I just basically converted it over, drilled a few holes, put on the onboard compressor with air tank, and then reinstalled my airbags on this truck. Alright, so a little different angle here. I'm up under the passenger side of the truck, and back behind my head here, if I can point the right way, is our 2.5 gallon tank, air tank. And so we've mounted that under the passenger side between the frame and our step. We had a lot of space over here. Decided to go with the 2.5 gallon tank. I kind of custom made my mount, if you can see this here. Bolted it to the frame, or actually screwed it to the frame, and got this all wired up and set up. I've got quite a few ports that I can use. So here you can see our ViAir air compressor. We bought a model that can continuously run for up to 60 minutes, which is really good because otherwise you can burn one of these up filling large truck tires or large camper tires. And we want to make sure we have access to enough air that we can use it for our tires, but also to pump up things such as inner tubes and our kayaks if we want to. So we can use this if we need to in many different ways. So the compressor is here right up under the passenger side door, and then immediately behind it you can see the tank. Back here I've installed a pressure gauge, manual pressure gauge here that you can see, and then also our automatic cutoff switch, which is part of the system. These are relatively easy to install, and if you just have a few basic mechanical skills, you can pretty much put this together. The hardest part was probably the wiring, and I'm not an electrical expert by any means, but I was able to figure this out and wire it up. So we have a 200 max PSI working pressure, and so this system will pretty much pump up anything we want. My switch is rated at 140 PSI, and I could increase that if I choose to. Right now I just don't see where I need to do that. So the last part of the initial install of our compressor and our onboard tank was the set of airbags, and I put these on the rear. And after putting this on the rear of the F350, I've realized that really this is unnecessary for the type of camper that we have, the fifth wheel that we have. However, I could see how this can help a little heavier camper, a little heavier payload out. The one thing it does help us with is leveling out the truck, and I do think it gives us a little advantage here because we can level the truck back down. I don't know if you guys are like we are, but when we're going down the road, you have vehicles flash their lights at you. They think your brights are on, but it's not my brights. It's simply that the truck has a slight tilt to the front, and the lights are tilted up because the camper puts a little bit of weight back here on the rear and pushes down. So one of the additions that I made whenever we put our onboard compressor system on was adding a quick connect fitting to the rear bumper. Just simply drilled a hole into the plastic. There was a little bit of metal I had to go through. Added the quick connect here so I can hook a hose up, air hose right here very easily. It's accessible and I can use it for the camper, use it for the truck tires, use it for anything. And I've been able to help some folks out just by having that available. So that's kind of nice to have. Most heavy-duty trucks today come with some sort of switch system. The Fords, F-250s, F-350s, F-450s on up, they're going to have this option for these upfitter switches. So you can wire directly to these switches. So I have my air tank, my compressor, and the air system that runs air to the airbags set up here. I actually have the solenoid for my airbags hooked up to this switch too. And I have my compressor system set up to my number 5 switch. It's just the way I rigged it up. 5 and 6 are a little heavier duty. I believe they have a 40 amp fuse, so it gives me a little bit more power for my ViAir compressor. And the cutoff switch, I have those both wired to that same one, and it automatically shuts off once it's full. I can run these on, I can run them off, doesn't matter. Sometimes I just click them off, and then when we hook up the camper, I'll cut those back on. So where did I put my airlift gauge for my airbags? Well, I went right next to the seat. You'll have to figure out a good spot for you. For me, this works perfect. My leg does not hit it. I'm good to go. So you just need to check and figure out where to mount yours if you decide to put on an onboard compressor with airbag system. Okay, if you're thinking about this, maybe for a smaller truck, a half-ton truck, or even a 3/4 ton truck, this is a good location for me. My wires could come in from the firewall behind the pedals. I could go right in to this little area, the console area, drill a few holes. It's kind of out of the way, so no big deal to me. Another part of the onboard air compressor install system with the airbags is going to be the solenoid that you have to add in. So what I did is our upfitter switches and wires, or actually the wires to the switches, are located on the driver's side, and they're just above or just behind our radiator fluid here and the diesel. And I believe on the gas engine they're located in the same location. 2017, 18, 19, 20 I believe has the same location. We ran our wiring across and then we ran these wires down through the wheel well and along the frame back to the compressor. There is a vent that comes with the air compressor. You do need to install this to get fresh air. I just mounted mine. I tied it to the wires here, and I mounted it in the engine compartment. It gets warm here, but I've never had an issue with this, and it's going to constantly get fresh air. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video of our setup on our onboard compressor system. We've got a ViAir 450C, which is a continuous pressure running air compressor. You can run it for an hour and it won't burn up. And we have a 2.5 gallon air tank, which is great. Just enough air to do typically what we need. And if we need more air, again, we can let that air compressor run. It's a pretty easy setup. If you're just kind of mechanically handy, you can run a few wires here and there. You can figure out how to set this up. I do think it's very nice if you have the upfitter switches on the inside of the truck. It makes it easier to wire it to. And this is a system that can come in handy for any RVer, any off-roader, anybody who might need a little extra air while you're out and about. If this video helped you guys out, hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, hit that subscribe button, as we're doing a little more how-to videos as we go, and we're getting ready for some new travel videos coming up pretty soon here. And make sure you click that bell, ring that bell, so you guys don't miss any of our future how-to videos, adventures, or anything along the way that we might have out there. We appreciate you guys as subscribers. We appreciate you guys for just watching today. Leave us a comment down below what you think about the system, and maybe if you have a system like this, or how you could use this system in some sort of way on your own vehicle. We hope to see you soon out on the Mewve.